Greetings, my name is Paul, and I am the lead research technician here at the How to Linux Research Labs, and I'm also the administrator of the Pop! OS Linux Facebook group on Facebook. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install the .NET SDK and runtime on Pop! OS Linux 22.04. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I'm going to show you how to install the .NET runtime and SDK version 9, so .NET 9, on Pop! OS 22.04. Now, in a nutshell, the .NET runtime and SDK allows you to develop and run Windows programs in a Linux environment. Okay? So we're going to go through about 5 different steps here. And the first step is we're going to download the binary. Then we're going to verify the binary download. We're going to check the sum. And then we're going to extract and install the .NET 9 SDK. Then we're going to add the .NET SDK to our path variable so we can go ahead and access it anywhere in the file system in the command line. And then we're going to verify the .NET 9 installation. Okay, so about like five, there might be a 6th step in there to get some help. I'll show you how to get some .NET command line help as well with the .NET command in the terminal. Okay, so about 6 different steps there, and it's going to be a fun one. This one's a little bit more involved than some of my other videos. So back with the first step in a moment. Well, first I want to show you that I don't already have .NET installed. So let me show you my fast fetch screen here that shows I'm actually in a POP session here. POP 22.04, okay? So we're in POP 22.04 and we're going to install .NET here. Now we're clear on that, and I'm going to show you that the .NET keyword doesn't actually work at this point. See, command not found. So once we're done with all of our steps, we'll come back to our we'll go back, we'll get back in the terminal here if we're not already in the terminal, and I'll use the .NET runtime again, and we'll get some help and some usage help in the terminal. So right now .NET is not active, it's not found, and when we're done, we can go ahead and use it to interact with our .NET runtime and SDK on POP. Okay, so .NET not installed at this point, and when we're done with our steps, it will be installed. Okay, so back with the first step in a moment. Okay, I'm on the download page for .NET, and I'm going to skip whatever on the right hand side here. I'm going to focus on this section on the left hand side here. Okay, right here, SDK 9, preview 6. Okay, I'm going to look for the proper download binary here. So Linux, okay, and ARM is out for me, no ARM for me. And I'm going to focus in on x64 here, and this is going to download the tar file here. So we'll click on that, and you can see it's already started the download here. And we'll pop this out here. You can see the progress. Okay, 200 megabytes. Okay, it's going pretty good. And then on the same page, we're going to go ahead and, when we check the sum, it should match this value here. So when we check the sum, the integrity, the output here should in the terminal should match this checksum here. Okay, so it hasn't been corrupted and whatnot. It tells you right here. You can verify the download to make sure it hasn't been corrupted or altered or tampered with. So there's no malware essentially. Okay, so that's pretty good there. Okay, looks like that was pretty quick though. Okay, so we downloaded there, so the tar file has been installed. Okay, we can minimize that. Okay, so we've downloaded the tar file. Let's go ahead and spot it first before we check the sum of it. So we'll CD into our download folder, and we'll list everything out here, and we'll try to spot that .NET tar file. Okay, so let's see here, .NET, right? Yeah, I use the browser, so it should be in here. Okay, here it is, right here. Okay, .NET SDK9, tar file. Okay, good. So we have the tar file in our download folder, and the next step we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and verify the download. So back with that next step in a moment. Okay, the next step number 2, is verifying the checksum. And this is how we verify the checksum. In the terminal, you want to issue this command here, SHA 512 sum, and we're going to pass the tar file into this, and it's going to output a hash, and then we're going to go ahead and match that return value here with the value that's on their download page. Now I copied it from here into a text file here. Makes it a little bit more easy to work with, I guess. Okay, so the output should match what's on their page, which is I copied into this text file here. Okay, so let's see what happens here. I'm going to go ahead and verify the checksum here just to make sure that it hasn't been altered or corrupted or injected with any kind of malware or anything bad like that. That the file is as good as it can be. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and enter on that. Okay, here's our output here. That was pretty quick. Let's go ahead and let's see what's the easiest way to do it. Kind of copy and paste it for me here. I'm going to copy and just copy that there. Come over here. Start a new line. A couple down here. Okay. Paste it in. I can go ahead and get rid of the tar file name here. And just kind of eyeball it. I mean, I don't know if there's any better way to see if they matched other than just kind of a quick little eyeball. They look the same here to me. I'm not going to go over, but you get the idea, right? You can spend whatever moments you want to spend on making sure that what's provided is what actually is in the downloaded tar file here. This kind of giving it a cursory glance, cursory once over, they seem to match. So I think we're okay. Just kind of go over it real quick. There's a lot here to go over, but they look pretty good to me here. But you get the idea, right? Match whatever's provided with whatever you get, and if they match, then you're good to go to the next step. So that's pretty much how you check the integrity of the downloaded tar file here. Okay, so so after you're done comparing them and you feel comfortable with what you're seeing, with the one that was provided on a download website and the one that you just downloaded to your computer, then if they look the same, then you're good to go on to the next step. Step 3, we're going to extract and install the .NET 9 SDK. So back with that next step next. Okay, the third step we're going to execute is that we're going to extract and install the .NET 9 SDK. So after we verify the installer, we can go ahead and run this command to extract the SDK, and then in the next couple steps after that, we're going to go ahead and set up an environmental variable, and we're going to add the .NET binary to our system path variable. Okay, so we got a few things. We got 3 quick steps here that are going to be part of the extraction and installation process. Okay, so the first step here, let me break this down. We're going to use the make dir. It's going to create essentially it's going to create a .NET folder in the home folder here. Then once that's done, it's going to extract the tar file and redirect with this -c flag here. It's going to extract the archived contents in the tar file, and it's going to redirect and put them into our .NET folder here. Then we can cd into there and check it out. So right now this folder does not exist. So after we execute this chained series of commands here, 1, 2, well, there's 3 really. We're going to make a directory, we're going to extract the tar file, and we're going to redirect it into that .NET folder. Okay, so 3 kind of steps here, right? 3 commands chained together, more or less. Well, there's no other there's no other logical AND operator, but to me, just by virtue of redirecting the extracted tar file with the -c is to me another command. So it redirects the output not into the direct, it doesn't dump it into the download folder, but it redirects it to that .NET folder. Anyway, so you got kind of 3 different parts here of this command. So once you have all that keyed in and everything looks clean and good, go ahead and enter on that, and it'll create that folder, extract the contents into it. Okay, that was pretty good. Go ahead and clear on that, and let's go ahead and go back to our home folder here. Okay, home Paul, this is where it should be right here. I didn't show you that it wasn't there before, but it wasn't. So we'll look for the .NET here. And here's the .NET right here. This is what it created here, okay? So we can go ahead and clear on that and CD into it. And you can see, there we are. There's what was extracted from that tar file. And do an LSA on that. Okay, good. We have, it's populated with stuff. Okay, so we're good as far as extracting the tar file into that .NET folder that we created. Okay, that was good. Okay, we're all set up there. Go ahead and clear on that. Go back to my home. And then back with the next step. We're going to go ahead and export. We're going to go ahead and create an actual environmental variable to work with our .NET binary runtime. Okay, for the next step, you want to go ahead and add the .NET binary to your path, to your path system variable. You can do this either, there's different commands to issue if you want to just do it for the session only. In other words, it's not going to be persistent across reboots and logouts and logins. So you can either do it for the session only, or you can make it more persistent and more permanent. Okay, so I'm going to skip the session only commands, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to permanently add the .NET SDK runtime to the path variable. So it'll not only be persistent across reboots and logouts and logins, but you'll be able to run it anywhere within the file system. Okay? So we're going to make the .NET SDK commands available permanently anywhere in the file system. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and edit this file here called bashrc. It's in our home directory here. And if you do an LSA, you'll see it here. Bashrc. So we're going to go ahead and edit this file here, bashrc, okay? So we're going to clear on that, and I like to use nano for editing files. So it was a dot file, .bashrc. Okay, this should open it up here, and it's writable. I'm not getting any message saying that it's not writable. Okay, so I'm good to go here. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the bottom here and add some lines at the bottom of the file here. Okay, good. Okay, so back with the next step as to what we're going to, what content we're going to add to this file here, and then we'll save it and we'll exit, and then we'll see what's the next. And then we're going to go ahead and verify the .NET installation once we're done with this. Okay, these are the two commands, or the two lines of code that we need to add to our .bashrc file to add the .NET binary to our path variable, so we can access .NET anywhere in the file system in the command line, across reboots and logins and logouts and whatnot. Okay, let me give a quick little breakdown here. So it's going to take the values of the content or whatever that's in that .NET folder here, and it's going to add it's going to add the values here into this variable here. So this variable here will have the values that's in this .NET folder here, and the same thing with this. The values that are in this .NET folder that we extracted, that's going to be on the path system variable here. So this sets kind of an environmental variable and gives it some value, and then the value in the path is going to be the path of the .NET binary here. It's a little confusing, but you'll learn something out of this, hopefully. Not that hard to figure out, really. The value that's in here gets stored in here, and the value that's in here gets stored in the path variable here. Okay? So we're just adding value to, to variables and whatnot. Okay, so we're good there. Okay, so once you have these two lines keyed in here, on Nano, I go Control O, and it says file name the right .bash. I see, okay, yeah, enter on that, and then a simple X out of there, and we've made the edit. Now at this point, it's not, it hasn't taken effect yet. I don't think I'm going to have to log out, log back in, or restart and all that kind of stuff, which I can't do on the video. It would kill the video. I'm not sure if I have to use a source. According to the documentation that I'm kind of working from here, it says if I just save the file and close the terminal and reopen it, that should be good enough to go ahead and make it take effect. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do, and I hope it works. So I'm going to go ahead and I save the file, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close the terminal, and I'm going to go ahead and reopen it, and hopefully that's enough to make the changes take effect. And then the next step, we're going to go ahead and verify the .NET installation, and that it also will verify whether the edit we just made right now takes effect or not. So back with step number 5 next, and we're going to verify the .NET 9 installation. Okay, just to make sure, so I don't forget, let's just check and see if there's any GUI. There's not going to be any kind of a GUI to work with. It's a command line tool only. So let's just verify that real quick here. See if we see anything in our GUI application folder here for .NET. I don't see anything here. I don't think anything's going to be in there. Let's check here real quick. .NET. Take a quick little look here. I'm not expecting to find anything here. And I don't see anything for .NET here. Okay, good. Yeah, it's a command line interface program only. Okay? So there's no GUI to work with. Okay, good. Okay, so let's go ahead and verify the .NET installation. Check if it's been installed and add it to our path and whatnot. Okay, so I'm going to key in the keyword dot. I'm going to see if it sees it and auto-completes it. DO, then I'm going to hit the tab, nothing. DOT, tab, and it finds it. Okay, that's a pretty good sign there. Let's see what the version is. Should be what, 9? I think as I was saying it was going to be version 9 or whatever. Let's see here. Yeah, 9. Okay, 9 preview. Okay, good. Okay, so .NET Runtime has been installed, and it is on the path variable, so we can run it across reboots and logouts and logins from anywhere in our file system. Okay, great. So .NET Runtime SDK has been installed here. Okay. Okay, and then let's see here. Let's another command here to list all the installed .NET SDKs. We're going to go ahead and run another command here. .NET --list -SDKs here. Let's see what comes up here. Okay, just that one SDK that we installed, 9. Okay, good. And it's in that path there, homepal.net SDK. And this is probably a subfolder of the .NET folder there. Let's check that out really quick. I just want to see what. Okay, we'll CD into there and we'll see if there's an SDK folder here. Yeah, right here. Okay, good. Okay, so that path matches what we have here. Okay, good. Go ahead and clear on that. So we got that one runtime. Okay. So, yeah, for someone who's just installed .NET 9.0 Preview 6, these last two commands, are very useful to help verify that the new version has been correctly installed and is now the default version on your system. And one more thing I want to show you, step number 6. Now these commands here that I got as far as like --list --version, all those come from the main menu of help, which is .NET. Actually, I want to go back to my home here. I like working from here better. Okay, so then DOT tab, and then --help brings up other things that you could, other options you can use to get information and manage your .NET runtime here. So we scroll up here, --help, it tells you welcome to .NET 9 and everything, and you can read some of the stuff here. and then that list was here. The list runtimes, I think it was, or SDKs. So that came from here, and then there's a bunch of other things you can read. You know what each command does, and then I got the version. Where's the version? Usually it's listed here as well. Yeah, version here. Okay, that's what. So those two commands from before came from -- help here. Other commands as well as the two that we already used. Okay, that's good. Go ahead and clear on that one last time. So yeah, by following these steps, you will have .NET 9 SDK and runtime installed and configured on your Pop! OS Linux 22.04 computer, and you're ready to develop and run Windows programs on Pop! OS Linux 22.04. So that was how to install the .NET Runtime SDK .NET 9 on Pop! OS Linux 22.04. Now I want to try one last thing though, just to see what this .NET by itself does. Okay, it doesn't really do anything there. Okay, so yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. We'll go ahead and leave you with fast fetch screen here. Very nice to look at. Okay, so yeah, that was how to install the .NET 9 runtime and SDK on Pop! OS Linux 22.04. At this point, I would like to ask you to like, comment, and subscribe on the video, and join my POP group on Facebook. It is POP group, but I do allow different discussions, different distros, tech news, tech personalities. So please join my POP group on Facebook. Go ahead and click that off. Okay? And once again, I am Paul, and I am the lead research technician here at the How to Linux Research Labs. And I'm also the administrator of the Pop! OS Linux Facebook group on Facebook. And until my next video, happy Linuxing.